So we are here with Devon Ford, the founder of the Focus Women's Conference. This is the second year, and it is absolutely fantastic. I feel so fulfilled, and I've learned so much, not only about myself, but what I can do for other people. So really quickly, please introduce yourself.
I am Devon Ford, a commercial advertising photographer and founder of Focus Women's Conference.
And so what words do you live by? What is your business philosophy?
To work really hard. To always treat people with respect, to be kind, to make everything I do fun. I think if you're not having fun while you're working, then you have the wrong job. So I try to make everything joyful.
Have you always been like that, or was there a point where you kind of had to shift your mentality or realize that I'm not having fun?
No, I think I've always pursued fun. I think
it's always been a priority.
Yeah, and not to avoid hard work, but I always wanted to feel fulfilled. So if you're not joyful, then whatever work you're doing isn't fulfilling you.
Finding that passion.
Right.
Any other words?
To always make sure that you're helping others and that you're supporting and empowering other people, especially people that you see are struggling, women, minorities, listening to other people, finding out their stories.
That's probably been the biggest lesson that I've learned this year at Focus is simply asking someone, what can I do for you? How can I help? Because we all need help. We all need to support each other. So simply just asking that. So thank you for having this and teaching us all those lessons.
Awesome. Well, a lot of people have taught me that lesson. So
pass it forward.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Karen. I'm a CPA, entrepreneur with big ideas, and I'm the mom.
I'm Cadie. I'm a payroll specialist, business owner, and detail-oriented person that makes things happen, and I'm the daughter. Welcome to Cheers to Business. I'm so excited for today's show. We went to the Focus Women's Conference earlier this month in Mobile, Alabama, held at the University of South Alabama.
Go Jags.
Go Jags. We're both alum. And Devon Ford is the founder of this conference. And it's really just about not only women empowerment, but growing your business, your personal brand. They had tons of classes with all the different topics. And so that was Devon, who you heard just a second ago.
Yeah, she created this thing. I think she's had a vision for this. This is the second one. It is amazing how she was able, just in 2 years, to build this thing, to bring this many women together.
There were so many great women there. So our producer, Johnny, brought the podcasting equipment up there, and we just randomly pulled people as they were walking by and asked them all this one question. And that was, what is your business philosophy? What words do you live by in your everyday life?
You did a fantastic job interviewing these. I wish I'd been there.
Well, I mean, I had to. So you were on the panel, so you left me alone.
That was so much fun, though. I tell you what, I was on a panel that Stacey Wellborn was the moderator, and with 3 other businesswomen. One of them was Brooke from Donkey Market, which we mention a lot. And these people, I was totally amazed. It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of Brooke is the owner of Donkey Market in Mobile, and she has given us a wine today. I think it is what did she say, a Middle Eastern wine? Yes, Middle Eastern.
Can I try to pronounce it first?
Absolutely, please do.
Vranek. Special selection.
Vranek. So Vranak. Vranek.
Vranek.
Oh, Johnny's correcting us.
Branec. Vranek.
Well, okay. I do math for a living. So it is a local grape from Macedonia. Macadamia nut?
That's a nut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is a upfront, voluptuous black raspberry, plum, violets,
very
and
dark.
Spring flowers. So full-bodied, and I am loving it. So
cheers.
Thank you, Donkey Market, for this delicious wine.
Makes you feel warm.
So let's sit back, drink, and listen to some of these great women that we interviewed.
I think this may be our best show yet.
My name is Kristen Barrett, and I am the director of Salisa's School of the Equestrian Arts. We are a therapeutic horseback riding facility that specializes in giving services to those with children and adults with special needs. Our mission is to heal, to educate, and enrich lives by joining forces with horses. And words to live by, anything is possible.
How'd you get into trick riding?
I used to work for the Dolly Parton's Dixie Stampede, and well, thank you. I used to trick ride just for fun and not really just trying to do it myself. And then my production manager on the show at the time knew I was going to do it either way. And so he took me under his wing and gave me a little training of his own. He was a professional Roman rider and trick rider on the show at the time.
I am Brandy Pate. I'm with Wilkins Miller, and I am the firm administrator. You know, my motto is always never cease to be amazed. I am, like you, a teenage mom, high school dropout.
Okay.
Didn't know that. Went to college and graduated, so I was always told you can't do things.
Right.
You know, you'll never be a success. So I've always aimed to prove people wrong.
Love it.
In whatever I do. You know, whether it's home or personal, I always want to excel and go above and beyond.
And see others excel as well because you see their potential.
Yes. And then I want my daughter to live a totally different life than I did. You know, not that it was the end of my world, but it was definitely
made it harder.
Changing of the way that things turn out. So you do things a little bit backwards when you're a teenage mom. And so I think that's what's created who I am and given me the drive to be successful.
I'm Krista Harrell. I serve as the Associate Dean of Students and the Title IX Coordinator here at the University of South Alabama. For me, there's two things. So personally, it's a healed heart shares much love. And professionally is be the best version of yourself, not a second-rate version of somebody else. Because you're so uniquely you. I could focus on all my shortcomings, all my weaknesses, and which I do try to improve on, right? Life is a constant learning adventure.
Don't change yourself.
There's only one me. There's only one of each of you.
I'm okay with me. Embrace it. Yeah.
Right. And you bring unique talents and gifts to the world and to the people that you're with and share time with. So if I didn't do that, if I wasn't trying to be just me instead of just trying to be like you, when my students come up to me and say, I want to be just like you, Dr. Harrell, I said, no, I want you to be you. I want you to take what you've learned and be you. And I think that's important because I think a lot of times people feel like they have to, instead of just emulating a role model or somebody that they see, a faculty member, a teacher, a business leader, they don't see that there's so many things within inside themselves that are so wonderful that they could celebrate and that they can contribute without having to try to conform to something, an idea of a vision or a version of a person or a leader whom they might think they're supposed to be, instead of just saying, I already have enough within me to be able to do this.
And that's every single person.
That's right.
I think it's funny, too, that as we listen to these, Cadie, and playing for everybody else, that we didn't know all of these people.
No, it was kind of interesting to have conversations with people we have a history with, but then also these new people that, I just want to go hang out with them and have these awesome conversations. And I think that was one of the biggest goals of this podcast, was just we were having so many conversations with so many great people, and we just wanted to share that and really engage in even more conversations.
And we wanted to open it up. We wanted more and more and more just to learn from other people. Out of these three ladies here, we only know one of them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Brandy, I had heard about her and all the great things that she does for her organization, and to hear her story and know that we have that in common.
And it identified with you so much.
Well, absolutely. Us teen moms kind of have this bond just because it is such a unique, tough experience. And
can we get a group from the moms too?
Teen moms all grown up.
No, the moms are teen moms.
That you can lead up that group. But
let's be fair.
So, did she say never cease to be amazed or never cease to amaze?
Never cease to be amazed, I think.
Okay.
But it goes both ways.
It does go both ways. So that's why, I heard it, but then I got, my brain kind of jumped forward and I was like, well, it almost works both ways.
It does work both ways.
Almost, internally always cease to amaze people, and then customer service, going that extra mile to really, it's not just doing what the client needs, but what can I do to take it one step further?
Yeah, and I think she means it that way too. I'm friends with the people that she works with, and I did not know her personally. I had heard of her, and she's doing amazing. She has taken control of her life to be where she wants to be. And so as Kristen with Simmons School of Equestrian Arts, she said anything is possible.
And that's what I love, because then we go into Brandy where, teen mom, the world against her, and then Kristen saying anything is possible, and then jumping into Krista.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's heartbreaking when you find out you're pregnant at 16, 18, whatever, below 20, and a healed heart. That's so important. And because, you have personal stuff going on, and that directly floods into your business, your coworkers, it can affect your work. Anytime your heart is kind of somewhere else or broken or angry. And that's why it's so important to take care of yourself first so that you're able to project that into the other aspects of your life.
Well, what Krista said about always present your best version. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares about what's going on in your life, your best version.
But that's a hard thing because you don't all, in the beginning, or when
you don't have the maturity back then to do it either.
No, not the maturity, but you don't know who you are. You can be a completely mature adult, and there's people who don't know who they are.
That's a good point.
And to be the best version of yourself, you have to first look internally and figure out who the hell are you.
Fake it till you make it.
I mean, that gets you by in the beginning, but still you have to.
I'm making light of it, but I totally agree with you, because until I was able to get out of an unhappy work world and really get to know who I was, even if it was later in life, it doesn't matter if you're a teenager. It doesn't matter how old you are.
When you're constantly evolving, I mean, you have permission to change who you are at any given moment. All right, that's a whole nother show right there. Self-love, self-development, and self-love, that's a whole, I would love to spend a session talking about that.
It sounds a lot easier than it is.
All right, let's listen to some more.
Okay, my name's Kristen Keller, and I own Keller Works Naturals. We mostly work with Whole Foods, so we're growing with them and going through that right now. We're in 3 stores right now, all in Alabama. Our next step is to be in the 6 in Alabama, and then grow regionally into the 42 in the South. And then we're going to be on a global track, if that goes well, which is 480 stores. I have a passion for helping people, especially people that went through what I've gone through with my special needs children. One has severe allergies and eczema, and one is pretty severely autistic.
What do you instill in your children? Just a life lesson that you really want them to grow up valuing?
Kindness and being inclusive to everyone.
Sarah Baumgartner, the marketing manager for Lifelines Counseling Services. My purpose is be the best example I can for others and encouraging others to live a servant life. So I feel like I've been given so many opportunities that a lot of people that we encounter have not had. And so how am I empowering other people by giving back what I've been given? I didn't ask for some of the circumstances that I've been through. I didn't ask for the education that I was able to be provided. And a lot of people that do want that don't have that opportunity. Right. And so I feel like being given this, it's my job to share it with others and give it back. And so how am I being an example through, being a mom, being a employee, being, just a community member in Mobile, like
a human being.
Being a human being.
Yeah.
I mean, in the grocery store, in traffic. Oh my gosh, it's so hard sometimes.
Okay, I'm Erica Jones. I'm with Goodwill Easter Seals. I'm a program manager. I'm going to take an approach to business. Words that I live by is actually part of our company motto is encouragement. I think that a lot of people need it, don't know how to get it, and don't know how to receive it. We talk about love. We hear a lot about love, but encouragement is a part of that. Encouragement when you are trying to inspire, when you're trying to uplift individuals to a positive place. Because you hear so much about negativity in the world and around us, I think that it's more important for us, especially to be aware of the positive that we have and that we can bring to a setting and to other individuals, and to encourage them to be their better selves and to aspire to help others to get to their better selves and their better levels.
I'm Jessica Walker. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for Distinguished Young Women. The way that I live my life is from the best advice I've ever gotten, and that's from my father, and it's to never be too big to learn how to do all of the things in the organization you choose to work for or to volunteer for, because you can't be sympathetic to the needs of others and to their challenges and to the way things work if you don't know what it's like, if you haven't taken the time to get to know people and to know what it is that it takes to do their jobs.
Awesome. So even for the organization to flow as a whole, really each of those elements of each job is crucial to the success.
Absolutely. And everything has to align. If you're not working hard to align all of your different values and the different ways that you do things, it's very difficult to make things successful.
So what, in your organization, what is your favorite thing about your job, what you do?
Well, I love that what I do. I mean, it is marketing. It is communications. It's incredible to be able to talk to people and to communicate about distinguished young women. But more than that, everything goes back to empowering young women to be their best selves, to help them find ways to be successful in their life through life skills or through interview skills, through things along those lines that really just empower them to be better.
And that's where it starts when they're young.
Absolutely.
Just because that sets them up for success so much sooner, building them up versus taking someone who doesn't have that empowerment later in life.
Absolutely.
Just the sooner they can realize that, I think the more successful they're going to be. And it's up to us to empower those younger girls.
That's exactly right. And to be able to instill confidence in girls that how they think is okay, what they are doing is okay and it's good. And I just think that's so valuable.
So working with distinguished young women, do you have one quick super advice on how can someone be more confident? Just something that they can do in their daily life.
I love Brené Brown talks about having the Superman posture.
Yeah.
Just sitting up straight, just carrying yourself
before
makes a
doing a speech. You stand with your feet, hips width apart.
Yes.
Hands on hips, chest out, and you stand there it's like a minute. You just stand there and do nothing.
And you feel silly to begin with, but then all of a sudden you get that empowering.
It's like you start feeling up and it just builds and then ready to go rock the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, awesome. Girls rule.
Yes, thank you.
Do you know what I call that Superman stance?
Superwoman? What?
No, that's a good one, though. No, I call it the God rod.
That's intense.
No, I've had this conversation. I've told people this. I said, you need the God rod. The God rod? I said, yeah, you stick that rod. You talk to God. You grab that rod, you stick it straight up, and you stand tall and be proud, and you work hard. And you're going to be proud of what you're doing. I know I just threw you for a loop.
I can't, my brain isn't processing after that. Like the mental, moving on.
But it's true. People need to find the strength.
Being a girl is hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. You're too aggressive, you're a bitch, you're too nice, you're meek and mousy.
That's where they got the saying, get your big girl panties on.
I know, but it's just, and that's what I loved her though, just distinguished young women about. As you get older, you learn that confidence, but it's just so important to pass that on to younger girls and, instilling in them, you can do anything you want to do. And I love the theme of all of these women. It was kind of just this, it was all about others and just empowering others and helping others and passing it on. And a few years ago, I did Junior Achievement, which is where you volunteer once a week to go to a high school and teach lessons. And I asked some of the girls, I was like, hey, do you want to be... And it was a male-dominated field, and they said, well, that's a man's job. And I about lost it. And just the fact that they have that thought or they realize that in high school, no, there should be no men's jobs, no women's jobs.
But at the same time, listen to what else she said, is that you have to be willing to do any single job that needs to be done within that organization. Right to this day, if I answer the phone in my office, the first one, and I go, KCS, they go, Karen, why are you answering the phone? I go, because it rang.
Exactly.
And that's what you've got to remember, that nothing you have is going to work unless you know and have done and willing to make the whole operation work, not your little part.
Exactly. And then Sarah with Lifelines Counseling, as far as the opportunities, that really hit home for me because, you didn't have the opportunities that you provided for me. And so it's almost this guilt feeling of...
No.
Well, it's almost like, I had these opportunities, provided by my family, and these other people don't have these same opportunities.
But if you don't take that and use it to do everything these people are saying and make your world better and the people around you and your daughter and make it better, then what I went through means nothing. And that hurts me. I want you to take pride.
Well, and that was one thing.
And go build and do whatever you want to do.
Well, and one night I was having a pity party, and that was a lesson that my husband taught me, is you should never feel guilty about taking advantage of an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because there are plenty of people who are presented with multiple opportunities, and they never do anything with them.
That's because life is a choice. Everything in life is a choice. And if you make that choice, so embrace... keyword, we've heard. Empower, keyword, we've heard. And use those and stand up tall, whether you want to call it a superwoman, superman, or God rod. You take that and be proud of the choices you're making for what you were given or not given, doesn't matter. And what you're doing with it. And that's the message that I'm hearing from this. And that's the message that I saw and felt all day that day.
You're getting weepy again.
No, I'm not weepy. when I become passionate, or it makes me emotional because I see this and I know the struggle. And I know how hard they're working. And they're still coming out and wanting to make it better for others. How proud are we to be women?
Oh, I just want to have a big old sleepover with all of them.
Slumber party at my house with wine. Brooke, you have to come.
I mean, there's all these networking events. Let's have a sleepover and just...
How fun would that be?
Oh my gosh, that would be... Okay, moving on. Before this next one, I do want to say we had so many great interviews, and unfortunately, we are limited to time. So this next one is our last one, but if we did interview you and we haven't played you, we're going to be releasing them throughout the year, so stay tuned for future episodes. But this next one...
She's a professional speaker, isn't she?
She is. Keisha Davis. She is amazing. And so Johnny, our producer, who mixed all of these together, he kind of saved her for last just because she did such a great job of wrapping up so many things. And this was our very last one that we did.
We were tired. I was tired.
We were tired. You could see that other people were tired. I mean, it was just a great, productive day. But she just came in, and when she finished speaking, I just stared at her in amazement. I know earlier Krista said that we shouldn't want to be like other people, but when Keisha finished, I was just like, man, teach me your way. So I definitely want to have her on a future show because I could pick her brain for hours.
She says things that I want to live by and do for customer service that I'd like her to come in and talk to the team.
Yeah,
I really would.
Let's listen to what she has to say. It is a little bit of a longer answer, but she touches on so many great things.
Let's go.
I'm Keisha Davis, and I handle governmental affairs for a natural gas utility company.
What is your business philosophy?
Make people feel valued. The reason why that I believe that this is a philosophy of mine is what I found is that people want to be heard, they want to be seen, and they want you to recognize that. One of the things that most businesses fail to do is to make sure that their clients, their customers, anyone who they try to build relationships with, that they hear them. And so many times we concentrate on getting that sale or just trying to meet a quota for the month, because that's what their boss wants to do. But we're not listening to what customers and clients really want. And one of the things I also discovered is that when you make a person feel valued, you're building a relationship and they will stay with you for as long as you stay with them. But it's all about using those active listening skills, repeating what they're saying, hearing what they're saying, and then whatever concerns or questions that they might have, that you respond to them, not haphazardly, but you are responding to them and you are showing to them that you value them as a client and or customer.
So what can a business do if they do have clients? What's something that they could implement to show that value?
Respond quickly. I have a 24 to 48 hour policy. I travel a lot for my job. I get calls, I get emails, I get text messages all the time, even if I'm on the road. Even if I cannot help someone at that particular time, even if I don't have the answer, I'm pulling my car over. Whenever I'm even eating lunch, there'll be a lot of people say, oh, you didn't have to call me on your lunch break. No, I have this policy. I'm going to respond to you because I value you. Because again, what you do today will pay off tomorrow.
Oh, Keisha.
I know.
I'm motivated and I'm inspired and I want to hear more.
That was, one of the words I had come away the day with was feeling validated. And, I'm a big proponent of just acknowledge that person. I cannot stand when a client comes to me and says so-and-so didn't respond. They're used to me responding so fast.
Well, even a simple just received, hey.
Acknowledge. Respond equals acknowledgement.
Yeah. And then, just her, I love how she gave steps. So, 1, listen to them. 2, actually hear what they're saying. Because a lot of times when people ask a question, there's usually more to it than what they're just saying.
What'd you say? No, I'm just kidding.
3, recognize what they're really saying, which that goes in with the hear. And then respond thoroughly and quickly.
Don't you like to feel valued? I like to feel valued. Why would not the person that you want to do business with or be a friend with or just be a human being with, why would you not want them to feel valued because you want to feel valued too?
Absolutely. And then, as far as like the responding quickly, we live in a different world. She said, I was at lunch and the people said, why did you respond? What is a lunch break anymore?
I don't know what a lunch break is.
I don't want to say our work is our life, but it is. We're always working, and I think that's what separates.
We don't clock out. That's not the world it is now.
No, if a client texts me at 8 o'clock, I just had someone text me last night, not even a client, like, hey, what are the employer taxes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I typed out this paragraph answer just because that's my world. It's what I love.
Right. Now, that's another show, too, because we got to know when to put it down for our family.
That goes into that self-care, absolutely.
Me and your dad will look at each other and he'll go, all right. He needs some time too. You have to break it up to put that phone down. But then when that's done, you pick it back up and you continue acknowledging. I'm guilty.
Still working on that.
No.
But, it just goes back to everything is a choice. If you're at your kids' kindergarten, Thanksgiving play, put your phone up. But if you're just sitting in the office, there's no reason not to respond to something if it can be dealt with right then.
If you're waiting at a doctor's office, respond.
Exactly. What else are you
going to do?
Like, I don't play Angry Birds or Candy Crush. I answer emails. Like, let me clean up this inbox.
Because it's just going to be there to do when you get back anyway. Why not get ahead of the game, too? And it makes somebody feel good.
I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't
know either.
But that's why we're doing a business podcast.
That's right.
Let's wrap up Focus. And I hate we couldn't play everybody. There were so many other great answers.
I want to play them all now. I want to talk about Kristen, and I want her to, with her stuff she's doing for her sons, I want her to be on Shark Tank. I want to help her get on Shark Tank.
But we will play everybody throughout the remainder of the year or next year. Johnny will decide that. Thank goodness for him. But
he keeps us right.
Thank you so much to everyone who agreed to come on the podcast to answer our question. And thank you to Devon and everyone who helped her make this thing possible.
Yes, there was a lot of volunteers.
This event was just not only motivating and inspiring, but the speed networking session we had where we introduced ourselves and we told everybody one thing that we needed. And that alone was just phenomenal. 3 people who was sitting at my table, I was able to help them connect with somebody that they needed.
Yeah, I've had people reach out to me over LinkedIn and different social media avenues.
It was more than just a conference where you sit and information is thrown at you. It was so interactive, and I can't wait for next year.
It was well put together. Very professional.
What was the biggest lesson you took out of Focus Women's Conference?
I think the biggest lesson that I took is that I'm exactly where I need to be right now. And that means, doing this podcast is not about getting business. It's about, I'm at a point now where I can help people your age, and I can be intent if I want to, but my intentions are to help give back and help people get to where I am. Wherever that may be. There's a long way to go. Who knows where I'll end up? That's not the point. The point is that I felt like I was doing some good with the conversations that I was having, right or wrong. But if I can help somebody better themselves, it's been a good day.
Awesome.
What did you get out of it, Cadie?
I think mine was no one is alone.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story, but it's just so important that we kind of stop thinking about ourselves and really find out more about that person. And when we would ask this question, they would go into more of here's how I was. And then even within the speed networking or talking in between classes, there is more to what people project. You've just got to care enough to care about that person and who they truly are. It's deeper than just the business.
Value them.
Value. So Focus Women's Conference was a few weeks ago, October 19th, in Mobile, Alabama. And if you want to stay in the know for next year, I really recommend it. It's a great conference, a great event. Just Google Focus Women's Conference, Mobile, Alabama, and just definitely save that date for 2019.
And you don't have to be in business. That's not what it was about.
Oh, no.
We saw every different facets of life.
And they have tons of different workshops to choose from in the different sessions. So it's not one size fits all.
To me, it was more about growing as a person, professionally and in yourself, and finding the confidence.
Absolutely.
All right, we want to thank everybody for listening today.
Thank you, Donkey Market, for the wine.
Oh, yeah, that was so good. Made me feel warm.
So cheers to
bringing value, empowering the person next to you, and making a better world.
And yourself.
And yourself.
Cheers.
Cheers. Y'all, thank you so much for listening and being here with us today. I'm Karen.
I'm Cadie. Please be sure to subscribe to Cheers to Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else that you get your podcast. Visit our Facebook and be sure to give us a like. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, shoot us an email from the website cheerstobusiness.com.